All right, mate, here we go then. Before we start on anything else, let's look at the rugby from last weekend because neither of us have got anything to write home about.
Yeah, but we're used to it. You're not.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
sorry.
Yeah, good point. Well, do you believe Eddie when he says you got a game plan up your sleeve that you're foxing, you're holding back?
Well, he keeps on telling us, keeps on telling our nation to believe in me, and he's a wily old dog. He's just getting the bookmakers' odds up, isn't he? He knows. Can I be honest with us for a second?
Yeah.
We, for all his intelligence and rugby now at World Cups, we forgot to pick a goal kicker. Oh, goodness. Because we all know the history of the 9 World Cups. No team that ever, yes, they did. Every team had a magnificent 5/8 and goal kicker. We've got a 21-year-old who can't kick. We're in a bit of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but you're saving yourselves. You're holding back, remember?
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay. All right.
there's a reason I pulled out of France, and I'm now going to watch the World Cup in Queenstown with my family. Now that's looking a bit dodgy too. You're going over. You guys are
October the 7th,
final,
mate.
semis and final.
And so you know that. Yep.
It'll be like I remember taking a tour group in 1995 to South Africa. We lost have I told you about this? We lost the quarter final. The day that was our first game, that we lost the quarter final, and the Australian team actually went home to Australia and passed tour groups who were going over. That could be happening for you. So I hope you know all the players from the other team. Can you explain what went wrong last weekend?
Yeah, we got thrashed, mate.
What the hell happened?
We got absolutely thrashed, mate. Yeah. I mean, Greg, despite the fact that, rugby is now dominated by the voice up on high, a guy in a booth watching a television set who dictates how long the game is and what decisions.
Right.
Don't even start me on that.
I know. She's going to be interesting, mate.
I don't think anything's changed for us. I mean, we've still got to play either Ireland or South Africa in a quarter-final, and we've been looking at that from over a year away thinking, hell, I don't know whether that's actually a great draw for us. But, if you get through that, it's the same as you guys. If you make it to the quarter-final and you get past that, I mean, then the draw starts looking a little bit more favourable. But, mate, when they bring on another forward pack, they bring on 7 forwards in the second half. It's kind of like that, it's almost like NFL now. An offence team comes on.
Yep. Mate, the whole thing's weird. But as you said with the draw, Australia actually have the best group at the World Cup. You're probably aware of that. As long as we can beat Fiji and Georgia and Wales, which even Australia should be able to beat them. We're in the quarters and we'll play England and we might win that. And all of a sudden we're the 9th. What are we? Are we the 9th or 10th best team in the world, the Wallabies? Anyway, we could find ourselves in the semis. It's possible. Eddie could pull this off. I don't know what you guys are going to do. You might need Steve Anderson.
You can't even say that with any conviction in your voice. What do you mean, Eddie? The only thing Eddie's going to pull off is anything other than you know what.
You never know. And that's the beauty, that footy before it starts offers hope to all of us. And we can dream and we can believe that something strange could happen, and it could. And we'll be sitting here with egg on our face.
All right, I'm going to tell you about believing in something strange that could happen. There has been yet another review in New Zealand Rugby, and it's just been published today. Now, this is a governance review into whether or not those that are running the game are doing a good job. And do you know what it's recommended? It's turned around and it's basically said that all of the fish heads in Wellington need to go. That's all of the executives and the board. This is an independent review. So New Zealand Rugby have released a statement saying, well, obviously, thank you very much for everyone that worked hard on this review, and we'll be looking at this review and we'll probably review it. Whether or not it causes any change, all of us are just rolling our eyes and going, what? I mean, can you imagine? So you're the CEO, you've just called the NPC not fit for purpose. This review has turned around and said, you are not fit for purpose as the CEO. Does he resign and leave, or does he dig his heels in?
Well, he'll dig his heels in, of course, because he likes having his power and all the functions, and he'll be enjoying himself at the World Cup. Why would he step down now? It's perfect time. He may as well kiss a few of the players on the lips too.
Wow, let's talk about that for a start, shall we? Now you and me, we discussed this last week. In the heat of the moment, the exuberance and happiness, I could understand, somebody doing something like that because they're just so overwhelmed with joy. The problem the guy had was then to turn around and lie about it and say that she actually said it was okay and everything else. And now he's painted himself into a corner and Mum's on a hunger strike. How does this one end?
Poor old Mum. She is hungry as all hell. Her ribs are showing through, and he's digging his heels in. He's showing the New Zealand Rugby Union how it's done. So good luck with that.
Oh, shit.
Good luck.
You think?
You guys are a shambles. You guys are in trouble.
Yeah. Well, mate,
Well,
it all starts at the top, doesn't it? If the admin isn't doing its job. And look, Greg, I mean, in all seriousness, mate, these guys spend $142 million more this financial year than they did the last financial year for a record $40 million loss. And the game is in a shambles in this country. And you look at it and you go, what did you spend? I mean, that's $277 million in total expenses. What did you spend all that on? What did you spend it on?
What was the answer on high performance?
Oh, go COVID costs, Greg. I mean, the reconstruction of the game. You just name it. Management speak BS gobbledygook. And not a single journalist in the place is actually saying, hang on a second, this is simple balance sheet debit and credit here. You're spending more money than you're earning. What have you spent it on? Not a single question asked, mate.
You guys are in disarray. This is worse than after the 2007 World Cup, and it hasn't even started.
Yeah, feels like it.
Yeah.
Are your Broncos going to win it all, mate?
Well, maybe not this weekend. We've rested 10 players before we play the Storm, who have rested 11 players. I suggested today, if you bought a $40 ticket to tonight's game, Broncos versus Storm, only 20% of the top-line players will be in the fixture. Does that mean you should get $32 back?
Yeah.
So we raised that as an issue. Yes, the Broncos can win the grand final, but they'll need a bit of luck. But, geez, there's some excitement here. I've told you, Brisbane's a rugby league town. There's a lot of excitement. And what does high levels of expectation bring? Disappointment. So I'd rather keep a lid on it at this stage. Thanks very much. Oh, what about the Warriors?
What about the Warriors? I mean, say it. Give us an up the Wars.
Yeah, go the Wars. Go Brass.
Yeah.
Bra Wars.
Well, okay, see, we're playing your lot this weekend, and again, resting players. Actually, for the first time ever, I think I agree with Craig Bellamy when he says, why don't they just have a week off between the last round of the NRL and the final starting, and then what a great idea that is. It's just like the AFL does it.
Yeah, but they don't like copying anything in the AFL.
Yeah.
If the AFL comes up, they will not copy a good idea, and that's what it is. We had a mum ring our show this morning, our radio show, and say her son's in tears because they're Warriors fans, they're Kiwis, they're Brewees living here in Brisbane. They bought tickets to go and see the Warriors play this weekend against the Dolphins, and his favourite player is Dylan Zalesniak. He's not playing, and Chance isn't playing, and that big Adam isn't playing. Adam Vanilla Blake's not playing. The poor kid was in tears, and this is the future of the game, and this is what you're doing by resting all these players. He wanted to see all these men. We can't do this to the kids, or can we? Yeah.
Well, they do it in rugby. This is the point. You see, Ian Foster turned around and said our All Blacks were rusty. That was part of the problem. Well, they haven't played since July the 29th. You've got club rugby and NPC rugby. Get and have a friggin' game, mate. What do you mean you're rusty? What kind of an excuse is that?
It's amazing. Playing rugby makes you better at playing rugby.
Bizarre.
Resting makes you good at resting.
Yeah. Anyway, let's finish on the T20 because we're playing England at the moment. You're playing South Africa. Does anyone care about this T20 competition?
Right.
What?
You know our radio show. We're a blokes radio show, and of course we talk a fair bit of sport and stuff. I've just gone 3.5 hours on air without mentioning I'd forgotten it was on. So we failed to update anyone on the result. Apparently we had a thumping victory, but I found that out after 9 o'clock this morning. So that's the level. I tell you what we had on yesterday, Adam Gilchrist. So Fox Sports have said, can Gilly come on? And I love Adam Gilchrist, one of the greats. So he's, yeah, what's Gilly want to talk about? They're putting him on the AFL footy shows. They're putting him on there so they can sneak in mentions about cricket because no one gives us stuff.